Hey guys, so I'm Mr. Faver, and you probably recognize me, music learning band director. And so today we're going to do our first online concert band rehearsal. And we talked a lot about how we're going to do this. And so one of the ways we're going to do, we're going to have tutorials available for all the instruments on all these songs. So even though we'll run through the songs in this rehearsal, you can go to our website, or actually we'll have probably a different place to get them by then, and see a tutorial on each instrument on how to do it, and it'll really help you out. I know I've already done a bass tutorial on a couple of songs, and I think it breaks it down really easy so everybody can get everything worked out and sound really good on it. First thing we want to do though is we want to make sure that you guys are set up in your house where you can rehearse properly, so make sure you have a chair that you can sit in and be comfortable, but at the same time sitting up straight and have your neck straight and your back straight and be able to tap your foot and count. Make sure you have a music stand available. If you don't have a music stand, you can improvise a little bit, maybe use a table or something that you can prop your music up on, but make sure it's at eye level. You don't want to be looking down at your music or up at it. It really hampers your ability to play correctly and breathe correctly. So the first thing I want to do is we want to warm up on our concert B-flat major scale. Those of you who have your beginner book still, I recommend keep everything we give you, because if you don't have it, it's kind of hard to go back and do it. And that beginner book really covers a lot more than beginner band. There's a lot of really good scale studies in the back, starting on page 34, some good rhythm studies and some good stuff. So anyway, if you don't have that stuff available to you, we will have it available online soon. And so we're going to play the concert B-flat major scale. And if you're still getting set up, just pause me and get all that stuff ready, and then hit, and I'll be waiting for you. Go ahead. All right. I'm guessing you paused and you came back and you're all ready to do it. So I'm going to play my bass along with you guys, and I'm going to use a metronome so that they'll keep the beat for us. I started to think about going, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I may do a little bit of that on certain things, but I think playing when we're first starting, we're going to have tracks available that you guys can play along with, and that's going to help. But I think in the beginning, I'll start out playing some bass with you on these. And so anyway, I'm going to set the metronome at 88, and we're going to play whole notes on our concert B-flat major scale. Drums, I want you guys to play single paradiddles. You're playing eighth notes, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and so that single paradiddle is right, left, right, left, right, left, just like that. Okay. All right, so here we go. I can hear rain outside, so hopefully we don't get too much thunder during this video, but we'll do what we can. So here we go. Concert B-flat major scale. Whole notes, and some of you guys might not remember, but like for my flutes, I'm going to turn this off. My flutes and my trombones and my bass players, you guys have an A natural on the 7th measure, the 7th note. Let's just review those notes real quick. So you have for flute, trombone, and bass, you guys have B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A natural, and a high B flat. So for bass players, your high A natural is going to be on the 2nd fret of your 1st string. And then your high B flat is 3rd fret on your 1st string. Okay, so all right, let's do, and flutes. Your high A natural is thumb 1 and 2, and your pinky on your right hand. And for trombones, it's 2nd position for your high A natural. My dog is hearing thunder, and he's getting scared. So I'm hoping he doesn't knock anything off here as he's getting close to me. All right, so I'm going to start the metronome again. I think I'll slow it down just a little bit for my, let's see. There we go. Take it down some more. I'm going to take it to 80. So here's our concert B flat major scale. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, off. Okay, so that's the concert B flat major scale. I have a couple of exercises I like doing, and you guys probably know these. We're going to do 4 quarter notes on each single note that we just played, and that's getting our tongue woke up and ready to play. All right, so now we're going to do all 4 quarter notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 4 quarter notes on each note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. class. So you either pick the first note, the third note, or the fifth note, and hold that note out at the very end of everything. All right, so now we're going to do eighth notes on every single one. Then drums, you guys are playing the same rhythm as we are. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Here we go. Same scale, eighth notes. 8 eighth notes on each note. We're going to repeat the top note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 3, or 5. You can hold out that note. So either B flat, D, or F. Trumpets have C, E, or G. Clarinets too. G, B, and D for saxophones. And you guys know how we do that. All right, so I'm using a metronome. When you're at home practicing, and practicing is fun. I'm old now, and I still practice. Practicing my musical instruments. I play trumpet, guitar, and bass for the 3 that I actually practice at home, you know. And I have a lot of fun doing that. For me, it's like, you know, I can't imagine life without playing my instrument. I'll just pick it up and play a song. I work on things that I want to play in those songs later, you know, things that are more intricate, or, you know, I'm a jazz musician, so I work on different things. So, but practicing is a lot of fun. And we're going to have some, like I said, a lot of videos available for you guys to do that. We're also going to have this thing called Office Visit or Office Time, where you guys can do a live stream. I think it's going to be Facebook Live, so you can talk to me one-on-one, and we can work on aspects of your plan. And so it's really pretty neat what we're going to be doing. and it's evolving right now. But the ideas we have right now are really cool, and I'm excited about it. So anyway, today I thought we would work on Avengers. And man, when I say that to my flute players, they go, "Oh no, that's scary." It's a harder song for flute players and clarinet players than it is for a lot of people. But check this out: we have a clarinet tutorial and a flute tutorial on how to play that part. Now we'll talk about it a little bit in class here when we're playing together, but you can just go over to that video, and in just a few minutes, all of a sudden, you're just watching the fingers of a pro do it. It makes a big difference. I hope you guys are watching many videos of people that play your instruments, because there's so much to absorb about it. And anyway, so the next thing I want to do is we're going to do Avengers, and I'm going to pull out the score right here. And the actual tempo for this song is 120. Let me show you what that's like, and I'm going to show you the app I have real quick. My metronome is the TE Tuner metronome, and it's pretty cool. I like it. You can do a tap tempo on it. You go, tap, 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 and get the tempo you want, or you can just use the plus or minus and get the tempo you want. Here's what 120 is like for Avengers. Bum, ba-da-ba-da-da-ba-dum, bum. That's pretty fast, and for those flute and clarinets part. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4, 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4. So that's really moving, So I'm not going to take it quite that fast today. And I think what I might do is work on sections of the song, because we're going to have tracks that you can practice with. And I think that's probably the best way to do this, and get those parts under your fingers, and then when you play with the track, it'll be a lot easier to do. Make sure you do those tutorials. They're really fun. So I'm going to break it down in a much slower, I don't know if you can see it, 70 beats per minute. So we're going to do ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just want to break it down for my bass players and trombone players, anybody that has that part in the beginning of this song that sets the tone for the whole thing. We got to make sure our rhythm is right. So on measure 1, we start out, we have bass clarinets, trombone 1 and 2, tuba, and timpani and bass guitar all play that part. All right. So let me see. We also have a drum part there, but you guys are playing on beat 1. But I don't want to worry too much about that. You guys can all hit beat 1, hopefully. So our rhythm is 1 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 3, 4, 1 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 3, 4. All right. So let me hear just the people that have that part. Okay. So my bass players, trombone, 1 and 2, and I want to hear. Make sure you guys are doing them staccato. You're going to make them short and disconnected from the other notes. You want it as clean as possible, and so that's why we're doing it slow right now. We want to make sure we get the rhythm right and the articulation right. So, also our dynamic on it. I hear a lot of people playing it loud from the very beginning, and it's not that loud. It's mezzo forte. We're going to get louder later. So for our trombone players, the first trombone, you guys have C, 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 D, D, D flat, D flat, D flat. Now D flat is not your D, so make sure you go out an extra half of a slide position, or a slide position. So you're going to be on 5th position, and then go to your D 4th position. Make sure you're changing those notes in the right spots. You guys have C, 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 5th position, D flat, D flat, D flat, D flat, and then switch on beat 3 to D natural. And then D, 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 then E flat, E flat, E flat, and then back to D natural. All right? And for bass players, you guys just have an F there, that whole section right there. So in my score, I have it written down. It's funny because it says string bass and tuba, and I know that I like to play this low F a lot of times. And I play the first fret, F. It's harder to play staccato on that because it just wants to ring out on that string. So you might want to stick with the F on the second string. Okay, so anyway, we're going to start there. And we're just going to play from the beginning up to measure 9. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 3. 4 E and a 1 E and a 3. 4 E and a 1 E and a 3. 4 E and a 1 E and a D flat, 1 E and a 3. 4 E and a 1 E and a 3. 4 E and a 1 E and a 3. 4 E and a 1 E and a 3. 4. Good. All right. Now, our saxophone players, you guys come in at measure 9. And so I've got, where are you at? There you are. So you guys start out on your low D. And one thing I'm noticing, a lot of my sax players are having trouble getting voicing that note. It takes practice to get good at playing your low notes, just like it does high notes for trumpets or anybody else in the brass world. But for woodwind players, just make sure your technique is right. If you're sitting correctly and you've tried to play that low D plenty of times, it's going to come out for you. So saxophones, let's hear you guys right there at measure 9. So you guys have D, and then you have A, G, F, F, G, A, D, A, G, F, F, E, D. I think that's right. Yep. And then you repeat it. So you guys repeat that whole section at 9. So let me hear the saxophones only. I'm going to play it with you on my bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's try it from the beginning of the song. And of course, my flutes and my clarinets are also in at 9. And let's try it. Here we go. 1, 2, beginning. I'm going to use my metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 13. Okay, I'm going to stop there. All right, so now we're at measure 21. So, saxophone players, you guys you're working really hard on these songs. And I know at measure 21, we have a couple of problems. Let me find it in my score. But counting is always the biggest problem we see. And I think that if you guys can count that measure at, I think it's 22 that you have it, then you'll be fine on this whole part. That's the only problem I'm seeing in my sax players. So, saxophones at measure 21, you have rest. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. And that's the biggest problem, right? All right. So let's have everybody play it at 21. Oh, the other problem is bass players. Make sure you guys are playing your... On measure 22, you have B flat. And then in measure 24... Let me make sure I've got that right. Yeah. So at measure 24, you have G flat and F. So G flat is the 4th fret on the 2nd string. And then, of course, F is 3rd fret. And... So anyway, let's do this. Here we go. Everybody starting at 21. Okay, here we go. And I'll play the bass part. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass. 2, 3. I'm going to start that over. My bass was turned off. Here we go. 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 29. 1, 2, up, 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 up. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's stop there. All right. So that's really good, guys. Make sure you're using your dynamics. At measure 29, we have forte on 29, and measure 30, we're down to mezzo forte, so we want to bring it down. And then build it back up at 32. We have a crescendo, it swells up, a crescendo and a decrescendo. So everybody's got that, so make sure you're doing that. The dynamics make all the difference in your music. If you have no dynamics at all, you could play every note perfectly, and nobody would be like, wow, that's amazing, but you could play some really simple music and use the dynamics, and it literally, people feel that, emotionally. Anyway, so let's start at measure 47 and finish the song out. All right, here we go. Right on it. But when we get to the last 3 measures, we have a sforzando. We're going to hit that note really loud. And make sure you have control. You don't want to crack notes or anything. But we're going to hit that note loud, and then one beat later, we're going to drop that down to piano. Okay, so we're going to go ba, and then bring it back up and have a really nice fortissimo. All right, For my bass players, I'm working on trying to get you guys maybe some volume pedals or something so you can do that with more control. The better the music gets, the more your dynamics really matter. And so, I would think a volume pedal might help you guys out. Everybody else, we're able to do that with our lungs, and drummers, you're doing it with your how hard you're hitting it, and so dynamics are super important. Anyway, so here we go. Measure 47, and here we go. And a 1, 2, 47, play. 1, 2, all right, that's pretty good, guys. So we want to practice these songs. Like I said, the tutorials are going to be out there. Probably by the time you see this video, you're going to have all the tutorials out as well, and you want to go through there and do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a new adventure. So I'm hoping all you guys are doing great out there. I miss seeing all of you, so I can't wait to see you guys again in the near future. But for now, let's take advantage of this time, do your schoolwork, the music part should be the fun part for you. And hopefully that's fun for you. And talk to you guys soon.